You are going through many problems, but you don't turn to God. That you are going through sickness after sickness, and yet you don't turn to God. That you are going through financial crisis, yet you don't turn to God. That you have been disappointed after disappointment, and yet you don't turn to God. You face failures after failures, yet you don't turn to God. You met with an accident, you're supposed to be killed, but then you have been saved, hospitalized, even on the hospital bed. You don't turn to God. Your marriage is broken. Your family was a wreck. Your relationship totally messed up. And yet you don't turn to God. Is there anybody like that? But look at Manasseh. He was a king yesterday, ruled for 55 years. But then when he was brought to lower level of his life, he repented. He turned to God. 55 years, you never listened to me. Why should I listen to you now? Wait for another 55 years. Then I will listen to your prayers. God has right to say that. But did God say that? You have disappointed me 55 years. You have disobeyed me for 55 years. You have displeased me for 55 years. You never cared for me for 55 years. Because now you are brought to prison. You are crying and asking my help. Why should I help you? Wait for 20 years. Struggle for 20 years. Suffer for 40 years. Die there for 55 years. If you are alive, I'll come and answer you. God has every right to say that. But God is so gracious. God is so kind. The Bible says God was moved. God was moved by his prayer. The Bible says God brought him back to Jerusalem. We do not know how God brought him back to Jerusalem. We do not know how he became the king again in Judah. But we know one thing clear, he was brought back. God gave him everything that he lost. He made him back. He made him a king over Judah. What a change. What a forgiveness. What a grace that Manasseh experienced. But do you know what he did? 5 great things, a reformation in 4 or 5 areas of his life and in his kingdom. The first one, he protected the kingdom. Do you know what he did? He built great wall around his kingdom. He set boundaries. I don't want my kingdom to be stolen and destroyed again. I don't want any enemy to enter into my kingdom. I need to be protected. I need my people to be protected. There are many boys and girls and brothers and sisters, you tell that I accepted Jesus Christ, I am born again and baptized. I am now a child of God, that's wonderful, but tell me, what are the steps that you have taken to prove that your salvation is genuine? What are the steps that you have taken to prove the world that your forgiveness is real? That your transformation, that your born again experience is real? What are the things that you are able to show it to the people? Is your parents are able to notice the change in your life? Is your friends and colleagues and classmates are able to see the transformation in your life? I need to tell you this thing. Faith without deeds is dead. Born again experience without proving it, without showing it in action is dead. Set boundary to your character. Set boundary to your friendship. To this limit I can be a friend, but I cannot cross this. If you want me to walk with you, I'll walk with you. Talk with you, I'll talk with you. But if you want me to come to your room, no, I can't cross my limit. If you want me to come to nightclub and pub, no, I cannot cross my boundary. Yes, you love me. Yes, I love you. That's fine. But if you want me to sleep with you, no, I set boundary. Dear brothers and sisters, we got to set boundaries. When devil comes and tells you, come, let's commit this sin, come, let's go there, let's go here, your consciousness should say, your heart should say no. You should say no, because I give word to God. I set boundaries around me. That is what God is expecting when you have experienced God's forgiveness. Dear friends, if your family is your kingdom, who are the main people in your family? Your husband, your wife, your children. If you are a born-again father, born-again mother, you got to protect your family members because they are the main people for you. How can you protect them? Through prayer. Through prayer. Father and mother, protect your children. They are the main people in your kingdom. Brother and sister, if you are the first person to accept Jesus Christ, protect your parents' lives because they are heading towards hell without Jesus. You got to protect them through your prayers. You got to protect them through your prayers, bringing them to God's presence, and definitely they will be saved. I do not know how many of you are blessed with children, but dear brothers and sisters, protect your children because they are main people in the family.